We seem to be having a few ghost problems in the Lego City. Looks like we need to fire this guy up. I don't have a license, but let's hope it works. Anyway, first of all, happy Halloween to everybody out there, and I hope you have a very safe and happy holiday. And don't forget to let your parents check your candy when you get home. Now, I thought with it being Halloween, man, let's kind of do something funny with the city. And I happen to have this Beetlejuice sign that I just think looks freaking awesome. So what I did is I removed this building right here, put in a quick makeshift cemetery, and I even placed Beetlejuice right in the middle of it. And I have to say, I may end up leaving it that way because I'm pretty happy with how that looks, although it might need a few more trees. And don't forget, you can see little clips of stuff I do like that on my Instagram channel. Something else I did is these buildings here were buildings that I took to Brick Fair, Virginia with me, and I recently got them back out of the box and got them placed on the table, as well as the apartment complex back there. I even took the gas station that I initially had down here next to the Ford dealership because I thought, you know what, let's try and get as much of this area filled in as possible, and let's try and get as much lighting done as we can. So now this entire street is fully illuminated up to this point down here in front of the Ford dealer anyway. And I'm going to be working on smaller buildings and such to fill in this space over the next few weeks also. But I'm really digging the Beetlejuice sign. It's amazing how much better the city looks just by getting a few of my buildings back into it. And I'm really happy with how it's moving along. Now, I have a lot of small details that I still have to work on because as you can see, there's no fire hydrants, there's a lot of details, there's no people or anything on most of the streets. I'm just still focusing on trying to get the buildings placed and also figure out exactly where they're going because I'm not sure how everything's going to fit. I have so many huge buildings, but I am really starting to like a lot of the different views and the angles I can acquire from all these huge buildings. And it is so nice to actually have a lot of these placed back into the city, even though I still, like I said, have a lot of the small details to do. Everything, you can see there's debris on every single street, but I am going to work on that. I am also going to be designing 2 smaller buildings to go here behind the Avengers Tower, so that way I have more of a natural landscape when you're looking from that end of the table, because that end of the table is my main viewing point, and I still have to put all this stuff back together because these were, or this anyway, was one of the buildings I took to Brick Fair, Virginia with me, and when I did that, I had to rip out all the fence work and a lot of the greebling and plant life that I initially had on the back side of this particular building. But, I mean, it would only take a few days to get everything back up to snuff in this portion of the city as well. I don't want to spend too much time, but I do like to always try to give a general overview of all the buildings. And I know a lot of people really wanted to see the Neapolitan and Ivy Towers both placed into the city. And so far, that is where I think I'm going to be keeping them, is over there in the back corner, because that is just the easiest place to have them located to where I can actually pull them on and off the table, because they do still need to be illuminated as well. The next step that I'm wanting to get to is this building's already done. That is my convention center, but I got to get the street placed in. But before I can do that, I've got to get all these buildings back in there and illuminated first, because once that building is staying where it's at, I can't reach over here. So the building is currently just kind of temporarily plugged in to give me a little bit of lighting. And also it's on the edge of the table so that way I can easily remove it to get over here and finish that. But once I get this row of buildings in there and get the street down in front of it, that convention center will be getting placed in its permanent home. Now, because looking at everything with the lights off is my personal favorite, let's take a quick walk around and tour. Again, nothing's really changed with the airport. I still have the traffic signals going at the one intersection, and that is something I got to do some work on because I want to get the traffic signals on every single intersection, and I have a lot of them I got to do. But making those working intersections is a very time-consuming process. But I'm just so happy with this Beetlejuice sign. I honestly love it, and I think I'm going to be keeping it installed hanging above the city like it is right now for quite a while because I am really digging it. And how could you not love to see the Beetlejuice sign and then be able to zoom in to see Beetlejuice down in the graveyard? It just adds, to me, a lot of character to the Lego city. But this is the best part of all, is coming down here at this particular angle and looking up at the Avengers Tower at the end of the street and just seeing all that light going on. It just looks freaking awesome to me. It's like having one part of the city finally 100% complete, even though I still have other work to do. But man, does it look so awesome. And just being able to walk around and kind of see the different shades of light, it looks so natural to me. And that's what I'm aiming for. I want my city to look very natural, normal. I don't want it to be super bright. And don't get me wrong, super bright can be a good thing, but I want my city to be dim and to look more realistic. And that's why buildings like the Neapolitan and Ivy Towers need illuminated really badly. But now I can come over here to the back side of the table and I can take my camera and zoom it way down to street level, and it's really starting to get some very interesting views through here. So much so that I'm wanting to get a camera that I can put on a car or something and possibly try and drive it through the city at some point, because I think that would make some really interesting video. Just being able to peek in and out around the buildings, it just looks so freaking awesome. I can't wait to get this little section over here completed and get that piece of road installed, because that is really going to finish up this little section of the city. And here's a little back lot view from the airport. Again, I have a lot of debris and stuff sitting all over the place, but the overall appearance I'm really happy with, and it's giving me a very good idea on a lot of things that I'm doing, and that the fact that I feel like I'm going in the right direction. One more quick scan of the city, and now we are actually looking at it from the airport side, and holy crap, this thing is getting just crazy with lights. Anyway, that's all for this video, guys, and we'll see you next time on Bevins Bricks.